Welcome to Easymorph training presented by Easylytics. In this session, we will look at sanitizing text, specifically how to trim spaces, to create a new email address, to sanitize phone numbers, and to sanitize salary fields. Let's jump into Easymorph and let's look at this example. I'm going to start by opening Easymorph, create a new project, and just drag in my file that I want to sanitize. On closer inspection of this file that I've just imported, you can see that I had to skip the first line and there are quite a few columns that I actually do not want. So I click back on the action where I imported the spreadsheet. I will go and skip the first line and I will go down and only load specific columns, and the columns will be the first name, last name, email address, phone number, annual salary, and I will apply it. Now that looks a little bit better. However, I still do have a lot of empty rows, so I will remove those empty rows by drop down, remove rows, and with the no. As soon as I do that, you can see all the empty rows are deleted. If I look at my first name and last name, you can see some leading spaces, and we can't see the spaces at the end, but there might be some spaces at the end. So let's sanitize it and take all the spaces out. To do that, we make sure that the table is selected. We go and add an action and start typing sanitize, and sanitize text will come up. I'm going to use the trimming lead spaces and trailing spaces, and I'm going to do it on the first name and the last name, and you will see then it disappeared. So if I move one action back, you can see we've got a space over here and a space over there, and once I run this function, the spaces disappear. The second part that I want to look at is the email addresses. So the first email address here is surname.name. The next one is first name dot surname. So I would like to standardize that, and the way we're going to standardize it is name dot surname or name dot last name, and it must all be lowercase. To do that, I first have to split this specific field so that I can find the domain part. So the action that we add there is split, and we're going to split the delimited text into columns. The column that we want to split is called email address. The separator will be the @ sign, so we're going to customize that. We're going to edit and find the @ sign, which is over here, number 40, and apply it. We will then keep the original column. We're going to call this, the first part is going to be email name, and the second part where we've got the @ sign, we're going to call domain, and we're going to apply that. So we've now split, the emails now split into the name and surname, or the surname and name, and the domain. Now I would like to construct a new email, and the email should be name.lastname at the specific domain. So the way we do that is just to add a calculated field, and I want to add that just after the email address. I'm going to call it new email. We're going to open up the expression bar. I'm going to add lower first name, and then a full stop, then lower last name, and then the @ sign, and lastly the domain. If at any of these, if you are not sure about any of the expressions, you can just type in lower. It will come up with information on how to use that. Right, so this reads first name in lower caps, dot last name in lower caps, @ at the domain. I apply it and it will be positioned just after the email column, and I run it, and you can now see the new email, Samantha.Foster at, where previously it was Foster.Samantha. At this stage I don't need the email and the email name anymore. I click the first column, keep my control down, select the other columns that I do not want anymore, right mouse click, and I'll say remove columns. Now I've got my first name, last name, new email. Now let's look at the phone number. So the phone number, I know that the phone number should only be 9 characters long. In some of them they do have dashes, others don't. So the very first thing that I would like to do is actually to remove the dashes. We can just modify this column by clicking the drop down, go to modify, and modify it with the expression. And the expression that we want to do is we want to replace the dash. So we're going to use the function replace, and it's on the phone number, and what we would like to replace is the dash, and we're going to replace that with nothing. So when I run this, immediately all the dashes are removed. So if I go to the previous functions, there are dashes in between. Run this action, all the dashes disappear. Now I want to take out all the characters after 9 because I know there should only be 9. I modify again with the expression, and the expression that I'm going to type in is left phone, and give me the first 9. That's all I want, and I apply. Now that X is gone. Moving on to the salary, annual salary. If we filter here, we can see some of the figures got dollar values in front of it, others do not. Some's got decimals, others not. So the very first thing that I want to do is I want to modify this so that we actually take out the dollar sign. I will go modify using a rule, and I'm going to go to my expression again, and I'm going to say if left first character of salary, it's got the dollar sign in front of it, then give me everything. Start going to use is mid. We'll say let's start at annual salary. Let's start with the second character in annual salary. Then let's get all the characters in the field annual salary -1 because we're only starting at the second character. And we apply that and we run it. And now you will see that it did take away the dollar sign. One thing that I omitted to do is to say if this is not true, if the conditions aren't met, I've said it would make it empty, but I must actually say keep it to original value. And I now change that, and you will see the values pulling through. What I also want to do is to convert it all to numbers. It will move to the right hand side, and finally what I would like to do is to format it with 1000 separator and 2 decimals. And that concludes our sanitation demonstration, which included taking out leading spaces over here, splitting off a field, adding a formula, and modify a field using expression, and modifying a field using a rule. Thanks for watching. Please visit our website at www.easylytics.com.au.